If you're a Green Bay Packer fan, heartbreak in the Steel City as the Green Bay Packers fall to the Pittsburgh Steelers 23-19. For the fourth time this season, Jordan Love had a chance on the road to put the Packers on his back and collect some W's. Take us to the promised land. Let's get a victory. And all four times, Jordan Love failed miserably. 9 interceptions this season in just 9 games. 2 interceptions late in this game to win it for the Packers. 2, not 1. Both in the final minutes of the game. The last interception was in the final seconds, 3 seconds left. Right there, the touchdown about 10, 15 yards in front of you. Just throw a good ball, a decently thrown ball. The bare minimum, you'll get a flag. No, he throws it right where there's a pod of black jerseys. This is Jordan Love in 2023. 4 interceptions of those 9 intended for Watson this season. 4 of his 9 trying to get the ball to Watson. Clearly and unfortunately, that tandem, that connection just does not work. And that's what we were all hoping was going to be the next big 2 going forward. Love to Watson. Not only have they not looked good this season together, it's almost like they are regressing as the year goes on. And not almost. It's what we're watching. Love had his moments today. That's the good news. That's the only positivity I can give you. Love had some moments. Some deep balls were actually winding up in some of our receivers' hands. Unfortunately, it's not how you draw it up in practice, and you saw our receivers having to work double, triple as hard just to get to the ball. But at least it wound up in their hands. Funniest part of the game was late in that final minute when Love heaves up that 30-plus yard ball and he just throws it into a pocket of nothingness. And you see in the replay, our receiver's eyes open up and he's like, oh, I can't get to that. And he's got to put it into rocket gear. Somehow he's able to pull it in and get out of bounds. So it actually worked out. But those are not always going to fall in our receiver's hands. And that's where Love has to improve so many areas. And it's too late in the season to start learning the basic fundamentals of that position. Was it just Love? No. But as the quarterback, as the leader of the team, as the one who dictates the flow of the game, as the one whose ball starts off every play on offense, it's absolutely him who's dictating the jockeying of position for our team. It is he who is setting the tone. It is he who is putting that ball precisely where it should be. Or unfortunately, where it shouldn't be. At some point, we have to start blaming Jordan Love even more so than we are. Because a lot of these games fall directly on his shoulders. 2 interceptions in the final couple minutes. One of them in the final 3 seconds. And if this was just one game, cool. Just a bad break. And a bad coincidence. 2 in the final minutes of a game. Damn, when you had the chance to win it. But this is Jordan Love many times this year. Many of those 9 interceptions in crucial points of the game. You can't do that. Time after time, week after week, game after game. Our defense had some really good stops. This game, our receivers worked their asses off to try to catch those Love balls that were grossly overthrown. Our backs did all they could. And again, we fall short. And not only do we lose with 3 seconds left on the clock, 3 seconds. The end zone is right there in front of us. And we lose with 3 seconds. But then after the fact, we're brawling with the Steelers on their sideline. We lose, and then we look like sore losers, right? We're pushing, we're shoving. Our whole bench comes over to the Steelers bench. Everybody is pushing, shoving, brawling. There's a Steelers coach or medical staff down and out who got flatlined on the last play. It's the fall brawl, I call it. Fall brawl in the NFL. And the Packers are the turkeys this Thanksgiving season. I'm going to get a swig of coffee. Come on back. I'm going to dissect each of these quarters. Quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to find out how the Packers could have lost this game. As if you need any rhyme or reason. Pick a reason. I'm going to give you 1,010 ways the Packers lost this game. But I'm going to get some coffee. Come right on back. And we'll try to decipher. We'll try to make sense of this catastrophe in Pittsburgh. The Packers fall to 3-6 on the year. Our record is 3-6. We're losing. We're brawling with the team that just beat us. What are we doing? What are we doing? Coffee, Packers review. It's the Packers versus the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Week 10, our 9th game. Let's get amplified.
Shine bright up all night, we're never slowing down. Follow drunk mistakes, we're bound to hit the ground. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now, do like it's only a day. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad days. For a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad days. For a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. Young blood made of gold, a mind you can't control. Running wild, can't come down. My head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now, do it like it's only a day. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad days. For a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
We win the coin toss, and of course, we defer. We give the ball to the Steelers first. Because thank you, Bill Belichick. Thanks to that dude, no team till the end of time will ever accept the ball first at the beginning of a game. Every team just wants to kick it off, put their defense on the field first. We'll be the first with the ball come second half. I have a different philosophy. If I'm trying to set a tone for a game, I want the ball, we're going to ram it down your throat, score a touchdown, rinse and repeat the process. I digress, because with this team, you want to believe it's strategy, but you could easily believe that the coaching staff themselves just don't believe that the best chance of winning is that ball being in the offense's possession. So maybe the best thing is to just kick it off and put the defense on the field. Maybe hope for a fumble or an interception for a TD return. Maybe that's the theory behind it. Either way, it doesn't even matter because it all backfires. In less than 5 minutes, the Steelers walk into the end zone for a touchdown 7. No. Literally, their running back, Najee Harris, walks into the end zone. I don't know. I'm not sure what our defense was doing. Playing Super Nintendo, doing the Macarena, trading Pokemon cards. I don't know what they were doing, but they sure as hell was not playing defense because they let this dude walk into the end zone. Oh, what a trip. 8 plays, 71 yards, results in a TD, all in less than 5 minutes. Now, right about now, if you're a Green Bay Packer fan, you're thinking it's not if we're going to lose this game. You're just thinking by how much. Is this going to be a legit blowout? And it's justified thinking. If you've been watching the Packers over the 9 weeks, but 8 games that we've had so far, if you've been watching the last 2 months, you see this. You see them already on the board, 7-0. You're thinking, oh, this could be one of those 50-something to maybe 13 type games. Now, these Packers came out feisty, right? This is our first drive. You're thinking most likely it's going to be like a 3-and-out. That's what we're known for. But they came out stubborn and with fight. And we drove this ball 75 yards, and we capped it off with a Love to Dobbs TD reception on a 3rd and 7. And we did it in just over 5 minutes. So we basically matched the Steelers. They did it a little under 5. We did it just over 5. But regardless, both over 70 yards of a drive. May have taken us a play or two more, but we matched them. 7-7 put it up on the boards. Really nice drive by these Packers. Shows you that it can be done. We can put together a decent drive. Did the Steelers have some miserable plays defensively? Yes, but beggars can't be choosers. We're taking it. And we're taking the credit too. So anyway, at least at the end of Q1, because the rest of the time in the quarter was just spent with the Steelers producing a pretty nice drive, but no more points were added. So at the end of Q1, the other team doesn't have more points than us. That is a score in itself. We ended a quarter, and they don't have more points than us. We'll take it. But don't get too excited, because at the start of Q2, it takes only 48 seconds that's what she said. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, watch it. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, it only takes 48 seconds to score a rushing TD. Hey, at least it didn't look as bad, right? At least we didn't let them just walk in, right? We actually chased them this time. We actually stopped and went, guys, hey guys, should we be going after the guy in the black jersey with the football? And the rest of us were like, well, come to think of it, that would be a good idea. That might prevent us from being yelled at. So a bunch of Packers, crazy concept, we started chasing the guy, the guy on offense with the ball, the Steeler. We started chasing him. Hey, it's a start. Doesn't do anything. The guy goes into the end zone and he scores what's called a touchdown, and here we are at 14-7. Our second drive, the Packers from the last 2 months, finally showed up and graced us with their complete inability to play football. It was a vintage 2023 Green Bay Packer 3-and-out. That's what we're known for, right? 3-and-out. I am willing to say that we have to have the most 3-and-outs in the league. If we don't, we're not far behind. There was word going around the campfire that next year the Packer management is considering a new name for the Packers, a name change. In 2024, we could be known as the Green Bay 3-and-outers. The 3-and-outers! What? I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. Anyway, all seriousness, man. 3-and-out. This was the Packers of old. It was, it sucked because the drive before was so... I don't want to go ahead of myself. It wasn't that good, but I mean, it resulted in a touchdown, and it was at least a decent drive. So you want to work on that. And to see us go right back on our next drive into a 3-and-out, that was hard to watch. And the Steelers, they take that gift and they cash in. A quick field goal, making this 17-7. Now, to end the half, the Pack came back with a touchdown for the ages, bruh. I'm not even over-exaggerating this. The drive wasn't the prettiest, but the end of this drive was easily the best throw that Jordan Love has thrown this season. I would, dare I say, in his career so far. And this is not his first season of starting a game. He started games in the past. I'm not talking preseason. NFL, regular season games, he has started for the Packers in the past. This is the best throw he's ever thrown, and it was for a touchdown, over 30 yards, over 30 yards. Park the car over there in the yard. We're going to go watch the Patriots. Boston. I don't know where that accent came from, but over 30 yards, and Jordan Love sits back in that pocket, has time, RELAX, and he throws a ball that is not underthrown. It's not overthrown. It's right where it needs to be. I'm getting emotional. I feel like I could shed a tear right now watching this pass. He finally threw a ball where it was supposed to be. What a concept. It was beautiful. Touchdown. Of course, we missed the field goal because we're the Packers. We can't do simplistic things like that, which cost us games. Literally. A couple of games this season, we've lost by 1 point, right? 1 or 2 points. It's these little mistakes. Even when miracles fall in our lap, we'll find ways to do the stupidest things on the most simplest of things. So the extra point is just meaningfully blocked. And we just show no urgency. There was no amplification in us, no pulse. We're all just going through the motions like this thing is going to go through those big yellow uprights. Nope. Steelers are like, well, man, I can just put my hand up and block. Should I do that? I'm just going to put my hand up. All right, I'm going to do it. Bump. Blocked it. So going into the half, you have 17-13, not 17-14. Those points add up. They will lose you games. Again, we've lost a couple by a point or two. We've won a couple by 1 point. It's not good. Anyway, focus on the positive on this one, man. Jordan Love with that connection. More of that. That's the problem. This dude doesn't seem like he gets any better. He doesn't look like he's improving, right? We played 8 games. And while some fans want to say you gotta wait, man, you gotta give it time. Okay, but you have to improve over it. It's not like it's his first year in the league. He's learned from Rodgers for 3 years. He has started games. He's played full games before this season. You got to improve, right? You got to show that you can get the ball where it needs to be. So that's the problem. We haven't seen that. He hasn't even proven he's a backup. At best, he has proven that maybe he can make it as a third stringer in the league. That's harsh, I know, but as a Packer fan, you think I want to say that? That's what he has shown us this year. Third string, maybe. He's fighting just for us to look at him as a backup. But the problem is, and it's a good thing, it's a good problem, he's better than that. He's got the arm. There's something special in this kid. He's got to find a way to just zone in on his attributes. Play to those strengths, hide those weaknesses. And be the SOB that a lot of us know you have the capability of being. That's my hoorah speech. There's still some time in the season. The season, as far as making the playoffs, that might be lost already. I don't know how many more games we can truly win. But there's time to show that you are something better than a backup. And then we can work on that. They thought for a small time frame that Aaron Rodgers was no more than a backup, don't forget. I'm not comparing the two. It's an example. Anyway, this was a thing of beauty. It's what I know the kid's capable of. It's just he hasn't shown that he can do that consistently. He does not improve. That's where the biggest problem lies. And there's a lot of football players that could and should be good, but they never amount to anything. They just can't put it all together. We're really hoping that Jordan Love is not one of those dudes. We go into halftime. Again, it is 17-13 because we can't kick field goals. I'll get a sip of coffee, and we'll come right back. We'll do the second half. All right, so going into the second half, quarter 3 was just a field goal frenzy. The Pack threw the upright 17-16, cut the deficit to 1. Then we get a second field goal, 19-17. We actually have a 2-point lead. And then Pittsburgh ends the quarter with a field goal of their own, so they recapture the lead 20-19. Steelers have the lead by 1 point going into the fourth quarter. So it was a largely uneventful third quarter, but at least we cut the 4-point deficit coming out of halftime. We cut that down to 1 going into the fourth. What? I'm trying to be optimistic here. I'm grasping at straws. I'm reaching for anything to try to find any sort of positivity here. So the deficit was only 1 going into the fourth. Let me have that, will ya? In the fourth quarter, the Steelers pick up another field goal. So there was 5 minutes left in the game. It was 23-19, and the Packers have the ball. So we're down by 4. 5 minutes left in the game. We have the ball. We control our destiny. If you ask BC, too much time was on the clock. Something tells me they were easily going to have some time, no matter what we did, they were going to have time to come down the field and kick a field goal. And that would have won the game. Because again, earlier we missed an extra point. And because of that, we're down by 4, not 3. We could have just drove down the field, kicked a field goal, and try our luck in overtime. I don't like those chances. Trust me. This doesn't come across as a team this season that's going to win anything in overtime. They're having trouble trying to win anything in regulation, 4 quarters. But it gives you a chance. But no, missing those field goals, this is what I mean. Those extra points are massive. Every single point in the NFL could come back and kick you in the butt. And this is one of those scenarios where we now know we have to go down and score a touchdown. And even if you do, even if we scored a touchdown, at that point you have to decide, are you going for 1, which would make it a 3-point lead, and then they can just come down the field, kick a field goal, we go to overtime, or are you going to go for it all, 2-point conversion, we fail, and then they just have to kick a field goal, they win this game by 1 point. We've already lost a couple by a point or 2 this season. Hope you guys are keeping track. The point is, we had to score a touchdown there, and even then, even if we were capable of doing that, this is not a team that has shown any of us that they can score when needed to. But even if they were able to do that, then they have a big decision. Can we get a 2-point conversion? So you're asking them to get a touchdown within 5 minutes. You're asking them to then get a 2-point conversion and put up a defensive stop. Good luck with that. Anyway, all that aside, 5 minutes left, down by 4. The ball is in our possession. And of course, this is Jordan Love we're talking about. This is the Packers. Game on the line. Interception in the end zone. We made it to the 15-yard line, and Love threw it to Watson. You would have thought he was throwing it to half the Steelers. In all honesty, all kidding aside, there was 2 black jerseys engulfing 1 white jersey. Watson was in the middle of these 2 black jerseys, and Love just lobs it right there. One of the Steelers tips it up in the air, and the other's like, I got it. So both Steelers touched it. The only guy that didn't was Watson, our guy. One Steeler tips it up, the other one intercepts it, and there you go. But here, BC's actually not flipping out too much, because I'm thinking to myself, all right, that just wipes everything else out, right? I truly felt that we were going to score something and they were going to just come right down the field and win the game anyway. This way, the defense is better than our offense this season. And I don't know what that's saying. I don't know if that's saying much at all. But our defense has shown up more than our offense this year. So I'm thinking, put our defense out there. Let's kill some clock, stop them, and get the ball back with 1 minute to 2 minutes. It doesn't sound like a lot of time, I understand, but Jordan Love loves to throw the long ball. Only completes it, it seems, negative 6% of the time, but he loves to throw that. And a couple of times in this game, he actually connected somehow. So, listen, you know the long ball is going to be put in play. Alls we need is about 1 minute and some change. I was honestly thinking that interception was not the worst thing in the world. If we can put a defensive stop, our best chance of possibly winning this game is to get it with 1 minute left and not put the ball back in Pittsburgh's hands. And sure enough, we were put in that position because our defense did put up a stop. At first, they scored that last first down and would have killed the clock, but there was an offensive pass interference. You don't see that too often. But one of their dudes leveled us way past 5 yards down the field. So, penalty, absolutely. I'm surprised I didn't see every referee's yellow flag out there. So, they ended up punting our ball. And we started that with like a 28-yard pass, something. We had a nice little bomb pass. And this is what I mean. Some of these throws that Jordan Love connects that are long balls, it's not where he thought it was going to end up. Love was about to get sacked. He just tossed it. I forgot if it was Reed or who it was. But you see our receiver like, uh-oh, he sees the ball going nowhere where he is. So he's got to haul ass to try to catch up to this ball. Once in a blue moon, these receivers will catch up to this overthrown ball. In this instance, it worked out for us because he had to run his ass off, got the ball, ran out of bounds. It worked out is my point. But that was not how it's drawn up in practice. That was clear as day. But hey, we'll take it any way that they can get it at this point. So we go down the field a little, and then it's the Packers just making one bluff out of, after another botch. One bluff after another botch. And we're catching the ball and staying in bounds. Jordan Love is almost getting sacked and just tossing it to anywhere. And then we caught the ball middle of the field, I believe it was, and we were able to spike the ball with 3 seconds left in the game. And we're at around the 10-yard line, I believe. I didn't put it in the notes. We're literally recording this right after. But we're in that red zone at this point. So 10, 15-yard line, something like that. And there's 3 seconds left. This is our game. If we want it. If we want to get one completion and just for 1 week say, hey, good performance. And not say, well, I mean, we lost, but it was close. I mean, we showed a lot of heart and then do all the things that we have to do with these type of losses. No, let's just get a W. It's the Steelers. They're not playing their best football. We came to life for a few drives. Let's just put a cap on it and end it. 3 seconds. A more than doable play is in your horizon, right on your horizon, right in front of you. Score by any means necessary. But it's the Jordan Love show. And you guys know what you don't need me to even finish this review. 3 seconds left in the ball game, in the red zone. A doable pass is right in front of you, and Jordan Love steps back. Jordan Love looks. Jordan Love heaves it. Intercepted. Sound familiar? It's the same old tune. The same tune. It's like going to your favorite bar, but that one person always comes in, goes over to the old school jukebox and presses the same song, right? Maybe it's old Van Halen, maybe it's the old Bad Company, maybe a little Def Leppard, but he plays that same song. You know who just came into the bar, right? Jordan Love just came into the bar, and he's pressing his favorite tune, the Interception tune by Jordan Love. The artist is Jordan Love. The song, Interception. The album, Intercepted. Again. It's the same tune. Same song on repeat, on autopilot. It's on a loop. Every time the game is on the line or a big situation, Love steps back, Love in the air, it's intercepted. It's getting old. It's getting absolutely old. There has to be improvement in these situations, and we are not seeing it. This was a grossly mistimed, misthrown ball. Grossly. This isn't even close in the realm of a ball you would throw in high school or even Pee-wee. And I would know. I paid the price by throwing those balls, and I played in the Pee-wee and through middle school, junior high, high school. I played it all. And we were taught you get a shoe thrown at you. Our coach would throw a shoe at your dome piece if you made stupid decisions like that. I made a couple 2-3 through the ranks, and I got the shoe to the dome piece, and it was justified. I'll do better, coach. I don't know how you make it to the NFL and make throws like that. I truly don't. And the fact that I got to say that about a Green Bay Packer, Steel City heartbreaker is what that was in Pittsburgh. That was rough. 3 seconds, and I had a feeling I hadn't felt in a long time watching the Packers. A feeling of, man, I really would like to win this game. It might not even matter. It might be the last game we win this season. Who knows? But because it's doable. The game is winnable, right? It's a winnable game, and it's right there. You just got to make a semi-good pass, and we got it. Because it's in that realm, too, of we'll at least get a pass interference. I mean, it's right there where everybody's going to be stuffed. And as long as we run a good route and the ball is semi-thrown well, we'll at least bare minimum get the flag and be at the 2-yard line. And no, not even close. Intercepted even. We didn't even have a chance to get a flag. Another week, another Packer game, another loss for the GBP. And if you're wondering our record, we are officially 3-6. 3-6. Now, even if you didn't know what to expect for Love, or you're one of those people that say it takes time, Love is going to go through growing pains, give it some time. They won't win that many games, maybe. They won't make the playoffs. Nobody is thinking 3-6 after more than half the season. Nobody was thinking with 8 games left. Nobody was thinking we're going to be 3-6. You have to be really, really bad to be 3-6. You have to be really, really bad to lose to the worst teams in the league at the time that we lost to them, like the Raiders and the Broncos, who at the time were the worst in the league. I don't know their stature now. I don't know their status now. Maybe they've gotten better. Maybe they caught some lightning in a bottle. They got some chutzpah behind them, some gusto. Good for them. But when the Packers played them, they were horrendous. The only thing worse was the green and gold, the green and yellow. The Packers from Green Bay. Us. We're the only thing worse than all those teams. We're the common denominator. And then after we lose, we're brawling with the Steelers on their sideline, right? We're late hitting. We don't feel like we were done fucking right. No, you shouldn't feel that way. You just lost with 3 seconds left on the clock. So our emotions got the best of us. Poor old guy on the sideline, he got derailed on that last play on the sideline. You see that, the old dude, I don't know which coach or maybe it was the medical staff, he got flatlined. He was still on the ground when the Packers and the Steelers started brawling, pushing, shoving. Refs are trying to get in. The Packers sideline comes over. I'll put it up probably in the thumbnail. You guys can see how many people were on the sidelines for the Steelers, and they weren't shaking hands. They were pushing, shoving, and brawling. I call it the fall brawl. So not only do we lose in devastating, heartbreaking fashion, but then we're just looking like an embarrassing, sad, bitter, sore losing team, fighting with the team afterwards. Where's that fight during the game? Brawl with them during the game. Get that chutzpah, that gusto. Build it up. Get amplified. No, after we lose, now we're going to show grit. Now we're showing that fight. Man, I wish we would do that in the games. That's what I got for you guys, man. This game ended 23-19. The Green Bay Packers lose again. The Pittsburgh Steelers win this one. I believe they're like 6-3 now. I think they came in at 5-3, right? They flipped it. They were 5-3. We were like 3-5. So I think they're like 6-3, and now we're 3-6. They're going upwards. We're going backwards. And such is life. Until next time, and there will be that next time. In fact, let me pull up our next. Had to pop up the schedule on the screen. So the next time we'll reconvene and review the Green Bay Packers will be next Sunday. The Los Angeles Chargers are coming to Green Bay. Chargers, Packers next Sunday afternoon. And then, guys, on just 4 days rest, the Packers are going to Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. I don't know who's going to be the bigger turkeys on that day. What's on your plate or my damn Green Bay Packers? Until next time, there will be that next time. Top guys, we're out. BC, saying check you. Go, Pack. Go home. Just go.